Hello, Marianne. How do you do?
Hi, Thibaut. I am fine.
Can you briefly tell me like who you are, and tell me a little bit more about yourself, the company you work for, the job you do, your country of origin, and the country where you live and work in?
Yeah, sure. So, yeah, I'm Marianne. I'm Belgian. I am 45 now. I have lived in the UK for 15 years, and I recently started a job here at a local hotel in Matfen.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Matfen Hall. It's a four-star hotel. We've got golf course and spa, and I'm working there as a receptionist part time, 3 days a week. Apart from that, I am also a florist, so I do wedding flowers and venues and special occasions.
Mm-hmm.
And I also tutor French and Spanish in my spare time.
In your spare time, like in school or for
No,
people?
just at home. People come to my house and then I just give them private lessons.
So you're a private teacher.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, Living abroad, how is life over there? Do you have had some big changes in your life?
Yeah, I find it quite hard coming to the UK. So the first 2 years, 3 years time, I find it really hard
Mm-hmm.
to live here, which was quite a shock because I had lived and worked in Spain, and I also worked in France. But I thought the first few years it was quite hard to be accepted here by the English people. But now living here in the northeast, I think the people are more friendly. Or it's probably also because I've been here now for longer that I find it easier to get into contact with people and being accepted a bit more easily.
Mm-hmm. You just told us you worked in Spain. What did you do in Spain?
In Spain, I started off as a receptionist as well when I was a student.
Mm-hmm.
I also worked as a holiday rep for Belgian travel agent. And then I worked as the head of reservations for a camping and bungalow park
Oh,
in
okay.
near Barcelona.
And now you work in England as a receptionist as well.
Yeah, it's just an easy job because I used to work here. Well, I started off working here for an airline,
Mm-hmm.
and I worked with my husband. I've done a bit of everything. I've been teaching French as well in schools, and my last job was European markets for a printing company. But they made everybody redundant, and that's how I started now working as a receptionist, which is quite fun.
You taught French in private schools or in
No, state
state
schools.
schools? Okay. Life in the United Kingdom, is it cheaper or more expensive than in Belgium?
I think generally it's cheaper. Most things, when I talk to my mom and family, I think it's cheaper here.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that is much more expensive is alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
especially like when you go out and have a drink. You can't. Well, actually, the funny thing is, you can buy a bottle of wine, a cheap bottle of wine for £5.
Mm-hmm.
But when you go out and you want to have a glass of wine in a restaurant, it costs you about £5 as well. So yeah, just alcohol generally is very expensive. But I think other things are cheaper. Apart from housing, the prices of houses I think are quite expensive here. It's a fact. Yeah.
So houses and alcohol are more expensive in the United Kingdom. The rest is like cheaper than in Belgium.
I would have thought so. Yeah.
All right. Um, how did you decide to move abroad? Was it necessary for your job, or was it your own choice, or how did you got in England?
It was circumstances. So I met my husband. He's English, and we worked in the same company in Antwerp. And I thought he would stay in Belgium, but he actually had his own company in England, and his dad was very poorly. So we decided it was the best choice to go to England and live in England. So we moved to England and we bought a house. And 15 years later, I'm still here.
So actually, love took you to England.
Yes,
It's
yes.
actually a nice love story, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I moved here in 2000 and we got married in 2001, and now we have two children. So yeah, still here.
Oh, that's nice. Um, is there a different work ethic in England? Like, do people work different or longer hours, or do meetings go different? Or is the workload like harder than in Belgium, or is it like exactly the same?
I think that the workload is not that big because I think that a lot of people um, or turning into the American culture, working all 12 hours a day, but actually what they do, they could do in 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like to pretend that they're working and get the attention and, they're hardworking.
Mm-hmm.
And so a job that 2 or 3 people are doing could actually be done by maybe one and a half. Mm-hmm. So I think that there's too many people for certain jobs and they could be done by less people. And it's just, the more hours they work, the more important they sound, is what I think that is a culture here at the moment.
So there's a lot of people doing nothing, a few people doing everything, like that's how it goes over there.
Yeah, there's a few, as I said, because I started my previous job as well, so there was a few people not doing very much,
mm-hmm.
and then a few others worked awfully hard and very efficient,
mm-hmm.
But those quit and went somewhere else, so it's just wrong ethic really, because they lose their good people and
mm-hmm.
sometimes they hang on to the wrong people. So I'm not saying it's everywhere like that, but I've seen it a few times now. I'm thinking like this is not right, and hopefully it will change again, that they keep the good people and get rid of the bad ones.
Yeah, because that's actually how it should be.
Mm-hmm.
You should keep the good ones and get rid of the bad ones, not get rid of the good ones and keep the bad ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's one big problem over there, I think.
Yeah.
Did you experience a culture shock in England?
Yeah, definitely. So the first few years I lived here, I found it really, really hard to be accepted. But also, I think the class difference here is much bigger.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a much bigger gap here between poor and also in Belgium, everybody seems to be more middle class, whereas here there's less middle class, and the gap is just much bigger. And I think I see that because I came from Belgium, but my husband said he has worked and lived in America, mm-hmm. that there is even worse. So here he doesn't see it that much, mm-hmm. and he thought it was shocking in America, whereas I find it shocking here in England.
So there's actually no middle class in England?
Well, there is still a middle class, but I don't think everybody seems to be middle class in Belgium to me, mm-hmm. whereas here there's more poor and there's more rich, and there's some people hovering in between.
So actually you can compare it to maybe a pyramid, like a large base of poor people, a few middle class people, and a few even less rich people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. How do you stay in contact with the people at the home front in Belgium?
It's quite easy now at the moment. So you just use Skype, you use FaceTime, WhatsApp, Messenger, email. Mm-hmm. So just with the internet nowadays, it's very easy to stay in touch. So whenever I feel like talking to somebody, I can just see who's online and get in touch with people. So when I used to live in Spain 20 years ago, it was much more difficult to stay in touch than it is now.
Oh yeah. So do you hear your family a lot in Belgium?
Weekly basis, my parents. But yeah, apart from that, I go back twice a year, or they come here once or twice a year. So yeah, not that much. But I mean, the possibility is there.
Oh, okay.
So you can always, with the internet, it's easy.
Yeah. I still have one last question for you. If you can give future expats one last advice, what would it be?
Brace yourself for what's coming, but also embrace the culture where you're going and learn to know the people and language where you're going. Because I think it's really important, because too many expats live in a little community and don't even bother trying to know the people that live around them.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much for your time, Marianne, and I hope to see you soon.
Okay,
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.